Hi, everyone. It's Neva with Comforts of Home TV. It's so good to be back with you again. And tonight, I want to show you how to make K&W Cafeteria Baked Spaghetti. This was a recipe I've had for 20 years. Someone brought it to a church potluck, and we just got excited about how simple and delicious it is. Makes a wonderful weeknight dinner, and some of my children, my daughter requested for her birthday even. So here are the makings behind me. Let's get started. Usually I use spaghetti, and to be honest with you, I thought I had spaghetti, but all I have is this delicious fettuccine, so I'm going with that. And that's the great thing, is that this will work too. Versatile, right? So 1 pound of fettuccine into this salted boiling water. We start off cooking our noodles first. So get that boiling for about 11 minutes and no longer, because it'll do a little more cooking once we put it into this pot with everything. So we got that going. And now we're going to cook our 1 pound of butcher box ground meat that we love to get. And this is where I keep my leftover bacon grease. And I've started really liking to start off a dish with bacon grease rather than a vegetable oil. It seems to tolerate the higher heats better for you. So I've already preheated this baking dish here. So I'm melting the bacon fat. And now let me add the pound of ground meat, and we're going to start browning that. So 1 pound of ground beef. Then we'll just cook this and brown this. And also with the ground beef, we need to put in 1 cup of chopped onions, which I have here. So we're going to cook this along with the ground beef. While our noodles are cooking, it smells so good already. And the flavors in this are such a winner. They really remind me of sloppy joes, but in spaghetti form. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes and I've drained this. And it's such lean meat, there wasn't really a lot to drain, but just a little bit. And I'm adding in, this is 4 cloves of garlic that I have shredded, chopped up. Actually, I did it on my grater. So I'm going to just cook this for a few minutes. And the garlic only takes maybe 20 seconds. It smells so good when you throw the garlic on. It just is like poof of flavor. Wow. And I pretty much just love to add garlic to any savory dish. Okay, time for the next step. So we're going to add the salt and pepper, chili powder, a third of our shredded cheddar cheese, Worcestershire sauce, ketchup, mustard, and cook that for 5 minutes. So let's go with, and this is what makes it so much like sloppy joes, is you have the ketchup and the mustard and the Worcestershire. Even though it's called baked spaghetti, you don't actually use spaghetti sauce. And here is our mustard. And I'll put the recipe in the description below. And this is chili powder, pepper, and salt. Those are the spices. We'll throw this in. And they say do a third of this, and this is 1 1/4 cups of cheese. So about a third of the mixture, and then 2/3 of it will go on top of this. So that's, to me, I'll call that about a third. And a tablespoon of Worcestershire. All right, let's stir this around. My dogs are playing in the background. I don't know if you can hear them. I sure can. And while that's going, I think it's been long enough time. I'm gonna turn the heat off, and I'll drain this. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and this is coming together to be a delicious sauce. So now I need to add in, check my ingredients, the spaghetti and fettuccine tonight in this case, and beef broth. And I always like to put in a lot of broth because it always cooks down. And this has so far been my favorite bouillon to use, better than bouillon. I use this for chicken and beef. Even a vegetable one they have is so good. So I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit and add my beef bouillon. And this is where most of the flavor comes from when you use the beef bouillon. It's really good, rich beef flavor. And once that starts reducing down, I'm going to add in my noodles and then the cheese, and then it's time to put it in the baking dish to go in the oven. And then I'm going to add the noodles into this. I'm used to, with stroganoff and Salisbury steak, I like to have
lots of sauce.
Lots of sauce. But when you're trying to fit something into a baking dish, I can't quadruple the broth like I like to, right?
Yeah, maybe just double.
Yeah, so 2 cups of the bouillon would be more than enough. And then just make sure it's down to this sloppy Joe kind of consistency. And then that should be the right mixture that you need. So I'm just mixing in all of the noodles.
I'm excited about the fettuccine. I think that might be a nice touch.
You know, honestly, yeah, we've never had it that way before.
No.
And I think the heartier noodle, I'm excited about that too. And what's really fun is having this for a weeknight dinner and then having the leftovers.
Leftovers are key.
They really are. Here's the rest of the cheddar cheese. So I'm adding the rest of the cheddar cheese. And this is a 1/2 cup of mozzarella. And I'm just going to put half of that onto it. And I'm going to put the rest of the mozzarella on. And that goes in here. Oh, that smells good. Now here's the interesting part. We're going to put this into our baking dish. And this is a 4-quart baking dish. I just want to make sure I had plenty of room. So a 4-quart, and I did put a little bit of bacon grease on the bottom to keep everything from sticking too much. This is sure to make everyone happy. Looks like this would be beautiful to take to a potluck, right? And then I'm just putting a little more of this mozzarella. And you can put the cheddar if you want to save a little of that aside and add that to the top. Okay, so into a 350 preheated oven for 20 to 30 minutes. We're really just careful not to burn yourself. Just really want to melt the cheese on top. So 20 to 30 minutes. Well, sweetie, the dinner's in the oven. Isn't that great?
Always great.
And we'll celebrate and then pass the time with some decaf coffee.
Yes, love coffee.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wonderful. Right out of the oven, just enough for the cheese to melt. Let's get our plates and have some dinner. All right, let's dig in, put some on the plate so we can have a tasting. See it, just a perfect consistency. I think that looks really good. Let's see. I think I'm really gonna like the fettuccine noodles. That's an interesting twist. Very much like a bolognese. Let me see.
It's really good.
Wow. I mean, I'm not even kidding. This is the best I've ever had.
I would agree.
Wow. You enjoying your plate over there, sweetie?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, wow. You guys have got to try this. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and you've got to try it. Makes the best leftovers for lunch. Give it a try and let me know how yours turned out. Have a blessed one. See you later. Bye.
Bye.